Hi, Royal Ones. This is Miss Gigi coming at you again with another juicy episode. Let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Mr. Frederick Douglass. I love this quote by Mr. Frederick Douglass. It says, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." That's very powerful. Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey. He was born. Uh, he was he was born February 14th, 1818 in Tuckahoe, Maryland, and he died February 20th, 1895, in Washington, D.C. At the age of 20, he escaped and became a powerful anti slavery orator. Douglass wrote 3 autobiographies describing his experience as a slave and then gaining his freedom. His writings and speeches became powerful testimonies to support the abolition of slavery. For 16 years, he edited an influential black newspaper and achieved international fame as an inspiring and persuasive speaker and writer. From his abolitionist activities in the early 1840s to his attacks on Jim Crow and lynching in 1890s. He levied a powerful indictment against slavery and racism, provided a voice for hope for the people. Douglass' anti-slavery propaganda and personal revelation are regarded as the finest examples of the slave narrative tradition as classics of American autobiography. To escape slave hunters in the North, Frederick changed his surname to Douglass. I love Frederick Douglass' point of view of his timeless definition of racism as a diseased imagination. Oh my God, I totally agree. Thoughts are like seeds. Seeds grow into plants, and what bitter, anger, hatred, racist seeds are watered and planted in the mind goes into a major conflict, man versus man, thus a diseased imagination. Frederick Douglass served as an advisor to President Abraham Lincoln, the first black man to hold a high ranking in Washington, D.C. Douglass became a symbol of his age and a unique voice for humanism and social justice. He became one of the most intellectuals of his time and lecturing to thousands on a range of causes, including women's rights. When Douglass was about 12 years old, Hugh Ald's wife, Sophia, started teaching him the alphabet, and Douglass continued secretly to teach himself how to read and write because his slave master declared that teaching him would make him unfit for slavery. So, with the help of schoolboys and people on the street, he mastered reading and began writing his autobiography, literary works as we know today. I cannot stress enough the importance of education, but it seems we are paying the price to learn um, a new skill or trade because the price of tuition is so very expensive. Attaining a degree puts us in bargaining power for higher pay and management positions and positions of power. Poor blacks and low-income individuals, I stress the importance of borrowing only what you need, not a dime more. If you let the school or loan officer overfund your student aid loan package, you're going to have higher interest rates, and this may make it very difficult for you to pay back your student loans and obtain employment in your field, buying a house in your 20s and 30s, buying a car, or getting a business loan. Staying on track and paying off the principal and the interest of the loan. Educating yourself is very important. Only borrow the cost of the tuition and books, and ask the financial aid officer and school advisor about hidden costs and fees associated with student loans before you enroll in that program, or check midway student program to see the elevated cost of your major. Like I was saying before, later on, 10 to 15 years, you want to apply for a mortgage or a bank loan or a credit card or a small business loan or even a professional higher degree such as like a PhD or a doctorate to educate yourself even further in your craft and be informed in regards to credit cards and loans and financial terms and conditions. Just borrow enough. Just borrow enough. On February 20th, 1895, Douglass attended a meeting of the National Council of Women in Washington, D.C. During that meeting, he was brought to a platform and received a standing ovation. Shortly after he returned home, Frederick Douglass died of a massive heart attack. He was 77 years old. What a powerful man. What a powerful biography of Frederick Douglass. He's a very notable um, in our community. He taught himself how to read and write. He's the reason why we know that education to be important. It's other civil rights leaders like himself that instilled that in us, and we pass that on to each other in the community to take our education seriously. These kids these days, the youth, we just got to keep repeating it. We just got to keep repeating it over and over instead of saying the youth don't know any better. All we got to do is keep talking to them about it, and then they'll learn, they'll pick up, and then they'll accept it. We just can't get tired as older generations. We got to teach them so they're learning. So they're being stubborn right now because they don't know that education is a privilege, and they don't know that this is what information inside of a book is going to save your life, and it's going to teach you to more skills, and you'll learn more information. That there's a saying that's going around that if you put some information in a book, the blacks ain't gonna read it. So audiobooks are very powerful, but it is good to get the actual physical book and read it too, so that you can see and learn, and it is nothing like firsthand experience for yourself. But please go to school. Even if you get a trade, still just educate yourself further and as much as you can possible about your field, your career. And always go for refresher courses, even if it's like online courses or something like that, but always constantly keep evolving and growing yourself, because he said education makes a man unfit for slavery. So the more you know, the more you're not gonna accept anybody mistreat you a certain way. So, and you demand respect because you have knowledge of how you should be treated. All right, Royal Ones, meet me in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Mr. Frederick Douglass, the powerful orator that he is. Thank you so much for your contribution to our society, Mr. Frederick Douglass. Thank you so much, Royal Ones, for listening to this message. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. Love, hugs, and kisses. Bye.